This chart shows the Earth's average sea level averaged over the last 24,000 years. Level were measured at many different places around the world and then used to create this graph. Today's sea level is represented by the zero value here on the scale on the right side. Looking down the scale, the values go down in meters. So at this point we're down 140 meters from today's sea level. That's over 400 feet. If we look near the end of the last glacial maximum, which was around 22,000 years ago, and then the glaciers began to retreat, water was melting and filling the sea. You can see how sea levels gradually started rising from approximately 410 feet up to today's zero value. The filling of the ocean or refilling of the ocean went in spurts, and there was a gradual rise here till about 15,000 years ago. And then there was a big spurt of melting where it jumped up. Then it leveled out quite a bit here, and this is because the Earth entered what they call the Younger Dryas cooling period, where glaciers actually came back. So the sea level stopped changing, and then it went up again, leveled off a little bit here. And then it went up steady to about 9,000 years ago, where it gradually eased off and has been almost constant for the last 7,000 years to the present. Here is another chart depicting changes in sea level. This time it goes from present, which is on the left, this time indicated by the zero, back in time 200,000 years on the left is our scale of sea level changes, again going down to minus 140, and in this case from 0 up to plus 20. Notice that this period here over the past 20,000 years or so, sea level gradually went down and ended about 20-some thousand years ago. It started to go up quite dramatically. And that's because the Earth had entered what was basically a warming period from the end of the last glaciation period, which happened about 125,000 years ago. At that point sea level was again at its maximum. But I want to point out that at that point in time the last full interglacial sea level was about 8 meters higher than today's level. That's 26 feet or so. And if we go from the last full interglacial forward in time, as the Earth got cooler, you can see the sea level dropped dramatically, leveled off a few times, dropped some more. And this has to do with the ebb and flow of the glaciers in the northern hemisphere. Again, when we reached the last glacial maximum, about 22,000 years ago, sea level began to rise. You don't see any jiggling here, but it rose basically up to the current level at the present time. If we go back to the last full interglacial and go back in time once again, there's a rapid drop in the sea level as the Earth got very cold, and we went through a period with the sea level was quite low for a long period of time. And then once again, as the Earth started to come out of that glacial period going towards the next interglacial, which was up here somewhere, you can see that the sea levels went up and down, in and down, and would have ended up somewhere around here. That maximum would have occurred at about approximately 250,000 years ago. Here's yet another chart that depicts changes in Earth's sea level. In this case we spend time from the present all the way over to the right at 0 to about 542 million years in the past, indicated here on the left. This black bar here, by the way, indicates how low sea level was 22,000 years ago with the last glacial maximum. This is the zero line. This is today's sea level going across like this, and it was down about 130 meters down to here. Note that this chart goes to 400 meters or more above today's sea level, and if we go back in time 50 million, 100 million, about 70 million years ago, we were about 250 meters higher than today. If we go back further in time, note that we're always above, maybe not here barely at the same levels today, but for the most part sea levels were always above today's levels. And if we go up here, take it all the way out to about 470 million years ago, or a whopping 420 meters above today's level. So basically, if we consider our current situation as 0, the Earth has been flooded by our standards for most of the past 542 million years.